Welcome to the Bad Tutors Podcast. If you're here for the newest up-to-date information on the nerdy topics that are near and dear to your heart, well, let me tell you, you ended up in the wrong place. Here, we are all about hot takes and grandiose displays of misinformation. So stick along for the ride, and you might just blow a blood vessel or two. So Tyler, we're recording in person for the first time in a while here.
Bad Tutors on the road.
On
Neither
the
of us
road.
are at home.
This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to do the thing that we always say we're going to do, and we're going to record a little short episode today because we have, at the end of this episode, a little announcement of a special event that we have running here that we're actually about to partake in a little bit. But today we're going to talk about Pokemon. Something that I don't think we've talked about before.
We brought it up.
We brought it up, but nothing like a whole episode about it. And today, ironically, we're talking about why the Pokemon nostalgia just doesn't quite hit for us anymore.
It just doesn't do it.
We've both been very, very long time Pokemon fans. I'd say pretty much our whole lives. Both. I don't know when you first started
Fire
playing.
Red was my first video game. I
Okay.
watched my dad play Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Goated for that, Dad.
Yep,
First,
for sure.
First experience in video game is a very gory video game.
Mhm.
But yeah, Fire Red was my first game that I ever got. I remember vividly, I don't remember where my birthday party was, but I remember opening my red Game Boy Advance and Pokemon Fire Red. And I also got a Willy Wonka chocolate bar. That was the first
Nice.
time I had one of those.
Hell yeah.
So
That was
those are
a
the
shame.
two things
Yeah,
that, you know,
they're not the best, but they're there.
let down. But that was the first time
The
I
Pokemon
ever
game
actually
wasn't.
had my own Pokemon game, and I was stoked for it. I played it. I chose Blastoise as my starter. I actually beat the Elite Four on my first run, which I don't know if
I certainly did not
Yeah.
ever beat. I didn't beat a Pokemon game until Gen 3. I
Yeah,
think my
the-
first one was either gold or silver, if I recall. I think I had red and blue as well when I got my Game Boy SP. But I think silver was the first one that I started playing because I remember being at a save that was still there. And it was locked at Sudowoodo. And I didn't know what the fuck to do.
what do you do
And
against Sudowoodo?
as like
Can't
an
do anything.
8-year-old, I was like, I don't know how to make this tree move, but I know it needs to move. But it just wasn't
He's
happening.
rock type, and my quick attacking starter bird doesn't do anything against
It didn't do anything at all. It was a real shame. Real
It feels
pain in
so
the
bad.
ass.
But anyway, so we both been playing Pokemon a long time,
Mhm.
and what game did Pokemon fall off with you?
I'd say realistically, Sword and Shield. I'm one of the few people I think that enjoyed Sun and Moon. I think
Okay,
it like has some good
interesting.
rules and things, and I liked that it was after the first hour a lot less hand holding
Yeah,
than the other games or than the newer games. Certainly, I still enjoyed that. I like that they tried to mix things up, even if it didn't necessarily hit as hard. I enjoyed my time playing it. I also enjoyed X and Y, to be honest. But then Sword and Shield came, and I played it for a bit. I think I took your fucking copy of it,
yeah.
if I recall,
Yes, you did.
and got into the like open world, and I was like, man, this is super cool. Let me do some raids and stuff. And then I went, oh, I have a level 100 after the third gym
Yeah,
because I did the content they told me to do.
right.
Like it's not required content. You never have to run raids, but like they're all over. They're giant shining beacons of light. And you're like, oh, I want to go do that. It's the new gimmick
yeah,
for this generation. So I want to be running it. And it's just completely broken. And while I do to a degree, especially if we're talking in like a competitive sense, I appreciate that there isn't a grind there. The grind of having to just run wild Pokemon for 15 hours to get to a level that you want to be competitive doesn't matter as much because you can just
Right.
get your XP candies. But when you're just playing through the game, it just feels way too broken. It's way too strong.
yeah. So I played. I didn't play Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire or
Those-
those or whatever it is.
Those were good. They were
Um,
just Gen 3 again in the
yeah.
new system. So like they were solid games.
I started an X and Y playthrough dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
I played Sun and Moon all the way through and
Yeah.
almost completed the decks. I don't know why that game, but I loved that game. I
It
think
was
it
good.
Just seeing some of the original 151 reflavored and like still being powerful.
Yeah.
Was awesome. My favorite Pokemon, Alolan Marowak, is
really good
from that game and felt amazing to play with. So I played a lot of Sun and Moon. And then
I think we ran
Sword
competitive
and Shield.
teams against each other in college, if I recall.
Yeah,
I think
we did.
Was that
was
game.
fun.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield, could not get into it. I was like,
No.
I know already going into the game that I'm tired of the Pokemon formula.
Yeah.
It's not repeatable like some of the best games that stick to a formula are.
For sure.
And it's only about seeing the new Pokemon. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna play a Nuzlocke, and then just like you said, all of a sudden the challenge of a Nuzlocke is negated by the raids. So that was the last one that I played. I don't even have Scarlet and Violet.
It's the challenge is there if you limit yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to specifically limit yourself, and I feel like it should be said that we do understand that we're adults playing a children's game. Like there's as much critique and criticism, and we know that I love to shit on Nintendo. Not as much Game Freak, but sometimes it's not that it's not made for us, but it's not made to be played in the way that we play it. Once you know the game and how it works really well inside and out, there's not a ton of challenge for a lot of it.
Yeah,
like you're doing single battles. Like if you really want, you're going against the Elite Four, you can pull some setup strats and stuff, but like you absolutely don't need to do it. And it's meant for the 10-year-old that just got this game for Christmas to be able to go in and have fun and not just lose constantly.
Right.
We do acknowledge that is how the game works and how it's set up, but we still play it a lot. Like we're not trying to like just completely remove skill from it and then just not have anything for us as well.
Well, let's talk about how we play it now.
Because that is very different from both a normal run and how we played it when we were younger.
Yeah, I do a lot of Nuzlocke now.
Yeah, that's the main way that our group plays Pokemon in general.
And on my computer, I will grab ROMs and then randomize them with Pokemon, up to a certain generation. And I'll do those randomized mods or do the challenging ROM hacks. Yeah. Like Omega Ruby and Omega Fire Red, where you physically cannot level your highest Pokemon past the next gym leader's ace.
Yep.
And even wild Pokemon, the AI is tweaked so that they don't spam growl at you.
Right. They're actually playing well. Like people have made it so you can actually play a more competitive game of Pokemon even solo.
Right. And playing those challenge ones, I found more fun again in playing not a Nuzlocke. Yeah. Because now it's like, okay, I need to build a team that can take out, the second gym in Fire Red, which is a water type special attacking. Yeah. And I started with Charmander. I need to have a team. I can't go in there and just spam like, Metal Claw or something.
Right. You'll lose.
And get through it. So, just a lot of like tweaking to the original game or adding in an element of chaos into the game has made it fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that, like, going forward, I don't know if I'll even buy a new Pokemon game in the future. Yeah. I guess technically I did play Let's Go Pikachu. And I also completed the decks on that. And what got me excited in that is that the Pokemon were in the overworld running around.
Seeing that cool. Is always good. Yeah.
But now, after playing that and then going back to Nuzlocke, I'm kind of turned off of that. I kind of want to like get excited when I get a roll on like the rare table in like this area or something like that. And instead of catching the Wurmple on that route, I get like the Lotad or something. That's a lot. It's just another thing that like makes things difficult in the game.
A little bit more dynamic.
Yeah. And I didn't play Legends Arceus.
Neither did I. I think I've said on here, Legends Arceus is a great demo run for the next Legends game.
Yeah.
The next, like, it just
Well, I think they
it
took
looked
a lot
very
of it.
bare bones.
I think they took a lot of it to Scarlet and Violet,
Yeah, for sure.
which is good.
Absolutely.
They should do that. And I think the only thing that I miss about not playing Legends Arceus is seeing some of the Pokemon in their new forms.
Yeah, I didn't know
know.
that. When I first started getting back into Pokemon a little bit, I didn't know what the fuck Hisuian was. I was like, what is this even? What are we talking about here? And it was from Legends Arceus, and I just had absolutely no idea what they were.
Yeah, so I mean, do you have any more thoughts on just Pokemon in general before we get a little bit into this announcement here?
We want to talk a little bit about like why what of the formula doesn't work for us. Like we've kind of discussed what it is a little bit of Pokemon. You catch your team, whether you're limiting yourself doing some kind of a Nuzlocke run where you can only catch the first Pokemon on a route, or you're just playing normally, whether with the tweaked AI or you're playing just even just like vanilla Pokemon. You're getting your team of 6 together and you're battling other wild Pokemon trainers, gym, going to beat the Elite Four.
Right.
And even when they've mixed it up, because they did that in both Sun and Moon and now Scarlet and Violet, that game being like fully open world and having 4 different types of activities, if I recall. I only played it for like 10 hours or so, where you have your gym challenges, your like event challenges, whatever they were, and then you have the 2 different kinds of Pokemon that you're chasing after for sandwich ingredients, and then Paradox Pokemon and all that. Like they've done some things to mix up the formula a bit, and what the good things that I feel like is they've changed up a ton of quality of life, both for standard play and for competitive play as well. With like we said, as much as we're kind of shitting on like the XP candies and stuff, if you're like limiting yourself to some extent, XP candies just mean I don't have to play this game as long with the grinds and everything. So like those kind of changes are good. I don't know exactly what they put into Scarlet and Violet, but I think it's bottle caps that reset or modify your IVs and EVs for competitive. Gotcha. So you can just like straight set. Yeah, you're not necessarily. Yeah, it's really good. Like you don't have to breed the perfect one with the perfect nature. You might still have to do nature. I don't know if you can switch that or not. But it takes out like if it took 15 hours before, it only takes 10 now, or if it takes 5. Like it's I don't know. One of our friends said making like a full competitive, real VGC competitive team can take like 100 hours still. Like it's not quick. It's just quicker than it used to be. So they put in some really good quality of life. But it's really only quality of life changes where every generation, it seems like, has a gimmick now. And that's the whole game. Like that's the big air quotes change to your formula is just, oh, well, it's the same game, except now you can Mega Evolve. It's the same game, except now you have Z moves, you have Gigantamax, or in Scarlet and Violet, we have Terastallization that lets you fully change the typing of your Pokemon.
Right.
So there is some differences, but none of them are like game changing. And it runs into that territory in my mind of what are they going to do? Like we're saying the format in the gameplay loop isn't hitting for us as much, but I don't know what the solution to that is, because if you just like fully redesign how Pokemon works, like take Legends Arceus, I'm sure you've at least seen gameplay and stuff where your trainer is doing, your player character is doing things. You can beat a lot of the game and like the bosses without ever throwing out a Pokemon. And like, that's cool. It's interesting. It has your Dark Souls dodge roll for some fucking reason. And like, I went, oh, that's kind of quirky and fun. All right. But like, okay, so now we're not playing Pokemon.
Right.
Now we're playing a whole new game. And where is the line between, oh, this is refreshing to the format and gameplay loop, and, oh, I'm just playing a different game. I'm just not playing the game that I'm used to playing anymore. And I'm not sure exactly what they do or where they go from that, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what
think
step 2 is.
the character of Pokemon, in terms of the character of the game, is
Mhm.
you catch them and then you use them,
Yeah.
rinse and repeat. So how can you, sort of adapt that to make it more unique and sort of rewarding
Yeah.
to engage with without losing that?
What it is,
Yeah.
without losing the feel of a Pokemon
Yeah.
game still.
But my biggest issue is that you can still play Pokemon with just one Pokemon.
Yeah.
And you just over level them, and then you use
just sweep.
the strongest move that they know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you're facing. Typing hardly ever matters, it seems, because eventually you just get so strong it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only real challenge in the game is sometimes the Elite Four, and that's sometimes.
Like Scarlet and Violet, when I played, it had more challenge, but I don't know if it had more challenge in a way that I would say is like beneficial. Like, you're roaming the open world and you see a terrestrialized Pokemon. Like, you can just see that in the world. Wild Pokemon are like in Let's Go or Arceus. They're roaming around the world. And you go in and it's like a level 20-ish area. You're leveled for that. And you go into that terrestrialization fight and they're like level 50.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, there's a challenge. But it's an artificial challenge of, oh, this Pokemon is twice as strong.
Yeah.
Is everything here. It's not like, oh, I have to think about this. It's just like, okay, so I'm going to lose a couple Pokemon if I want to catch this.
Yeah.
And like, it just doesn't quite hit as well for that. Like, it's there. And I'll even say that some of the gyms in Team Star bases, whatever they were, that was like the second objective where you have to use the send out mechanic and like throw them out and they'll just automatically go and attack other Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then there's like a fight at the end. A couple of those were kind of challenging because I was just kind of going through with, okay, there's some new Pokemon. I'm just going to play with these. I'm going to play with what I want, not trying to build like a good team, air quotes, just like things that I think are cool. And I got fucked up a little bit, but like, you could say that's on me because I just didn't try to build a full team. But like, there was a bit of challenge there, certainly. But if you're like good at Pokemon even a little bit, then you're going to be fine overall still.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that they could do is have a better story.
Yeah.
My favorite games, White and Black, I bought and beat both of them.
Yeah. Is that both Black and White or Black and White too?
I didn't play the second version.
Gotcha.
But the story there is that game's Team Rocket, which is Team Galactic.
Yeah.
They were not bad people.
Yeah.
They were your character's antagonist, surely, especially N.
Yeah.
But they were not bad people. They were like almost a liberation front for Pokemon.
They're kind of like PETA in the Pokemon world.
Yeah.
Like, unironically.
And it was like, okay, they
Except
got some points.
They're somehow, as the villains, less evil than PETA still.
Certainly, yeah.
Not that that's a high bar, but
yeah,
it is a bar.
And if they had more interesting enemies, more interesting story, or whatever's happening to that section of the world is more interesting, I'm okay with playing through the same game, reskinned.
Exactly.
Because I like the story.
Right. And a big issue that I think all of us here have with Pokemon is that they're so hand-holdy now. You didn't play much of Sword and Shield, but it was bad to the point of like your rival Hop would go, all right, we need to go down to the Pokemon Center. And then you could see the Pokemon Center down the road. It would give you a cutscene. You would see it down the road. And then right before you get to the Pokemon Center, Hop would be outside and go, so we need to go into the Pokemon Center, and do another dialogue cutscene. Yeah. And then you'd get in and he goes, all right, so, or I could understand where like you walk into the Pokemon Center and he goes, you can heal your Pokemon here. Here's your box. Here's this stuff. I think in that generation, the shop's in there as well. So like I could understand that. But then you go 15 feet down the road and there's another dialogue cutscene, and then that happens 5 more times, and you're 3 hours into a Pokemon game, and the only fight you've had is the first rival battle with your starters.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the fucking point? Like, even children who were already saying this game is made for do not need that much handholding. We didn't need that when we played the original games. Like, even the Zoomers now don't need that. Like, it's so much.
Yeah.
And it's just such a pain in the ass.
So, let's talk about why we're talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, we're going to be cutting it off here in a second. A bit of a shorter episode. We are gearing up to host the first annual Bad Tutors Invitational Pokemon Tournament. We have a slightly modified VGC doubles rule set that we're going to be playing, where every competitor was given a color 1 through 9 based off of the Bulbapedia Pokemon by color.
0 through 9.
0 through 9, thank you. 10 total colors. In their entire team, with some exceptions, had to be made up of only those colored Pokemon. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to run a little bracket and hopefully have a video out for you all soon of how the fuck that goes. When Tyler and I are talking like we know a lot about Pokemon. We know a lot of base level things about Pokemon.
We know a lot about playing the single player Pokemon game.
Correct.
And we are now diving headfirst
into fully casting a Pokemon tournament.
A bracketed multiplayer tournament of doubles battles. It shakes things up even more.
It's a much more, to me, a much more interesting set, because the numbers that I hear, when you think about it, in a singles battle, you have a total of, I'm not going to do exponents. You have 4 moves on a Pokemon, and you have 5 Pokemon that you can switch out. Those are your only options in a singles match. In a doubles match, you have 4 moves on each Pokemon. In each of those Pokemon, in VGC rules, can switch out to 2 other Pokemon on your team, because you're only bringing 4 of 6.
Yes.
4. So you also have, if you have a single damaging move in a singles match, that's only going to 1 Pokemon. There's no choice. It's the Pokemon that your opponent has out in front of you. In doubles, you have to pick now. So I don't remember the numbers offhand, but it's way more than twice as many options in every move. There's a lot more tactics and like counterplay within a doubles format than there is within a singles format.
Going from the Pokemon games to competitive doubles is like going from checkers to chess.
Yeah.
Or something stupider than checkers.
Yeah. Chess at like a grandmaster level.
There's no strategy in the single player games, and now all that we can talk about is the strategy that our contestants are bringing.
Correct.
And it's very interesting. We're very excited to bring this out to you guys. We have a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah, we're excited for these teams. We got some interesting characters coming out for it, certainly. We think it's going to be a pretty good time. It'll be an interesting one to put out for everyone.
Yeah, at the beginning of the video, there's going to be a comprehensive rules breakdown as to the limitations that we gave the players. So if you are ever wondering why someone didn't take Incineroar,
we banned
Incineroar.
That's the only banned Pokemon outside of the VGC doubles rule set regulation.
Yeah.
We have that as our baseline, and then we only banned Incineroar because it's really funny to just ban Incineroar.
He's also really strong.
He is very strong. It makes sense, but it's also just a meme.
Yeah.
So we're going to be running with that. But until that comes out, and until our next episode on here as well, I've been Ian.
I'm always Tyler.
And we hope you have a great rest of your week, weekend, day, whenever you happen to be listening to this. And we hope you tune in to the first annual Bad Tutors Invitation.
Our next episode is a regional tournament.
There we go, yeah!